Hi, welcome back. Today I'm going to teach about the Angular Web API using Spring Boot application, right? So I already taught the how the get employee works in Spring Boot application. If you are not watched my Spring Boot tutorial step by step, please follow them. It is very essential. This tutorial how to get all the employee from the Spring Boot application. I'll be attach the video description. You just watch them. So here this API request, I'm going to connect with the front end application Angular. So how to work, right? So the Angular and Spring Boot is a best composition, right? So here you have to understand these two functions, observer and subscribe. So here first, what you are going to do is when you first you have I already taught how to test the API request in Postman. The same request it goes to the it's a SQL client request. Okay, it goes to the observer. Okay, when you get the request, okay, localhost that following request, it's observed. Okay, it's after that it will be sending to the backend and tested whether the data is there or not, with the error or not. It will be subscribed. Okay, when the data is coming succeed or failure. Okay, it will be subscribed. Okay, so get the data, it is following the request. Subscribe means it will be tested whether data is available or not. Right now, go to the let's do this example. Right. So let's what I'm going to do is now. I'm going to open our this is Spring Boot application. It's already taught. Our backend our front end application Angular. We'll do it. Right. First, what I'm going to do is here. I'm going to create a new uh, this is my project. This project I'm going to go to here CMD. So type on CMD. So to type here or here as well as uh, ng generate component the following application name. Which name is I'm going to type uh, employee employee table. I'm going to employee table, right? Press enter key. You have to until the table has been created. Okay, you can see the table has been created successfully. Employee table HTML and TS and CS file all are created successfully. Now let's back to our VS Code editor. Now you can check the components created or not. You can check here. The employee, this component is created successfully. This is a newly created component, which is an employee component, right? So this is a HTML file, right? Here TS file is there. Now what I'm going to do is I wanted to return the code, so I just put it and explain it. Don't worry about that. How the program works, I'll be from the beginning. I'll be teach you. Don't worry about that. This one. So I just copy this one, this code, entire code. I just copy it and paste it over here. Right. The same thing I'm going to do it here as the TS file. Don't worry about it. I will be explaining it. Don't worry. But this is must. Okay. Because if I going to write it takes too much of time to complete it. So that I just paste it and explain it. It's very simple, right? So I just it as you have to adjust it this one, the constructor. This is the constructor here. This is the constructor. So paste on this constructor. This is HTTP. This one you have to put it here as a constructor. So you have to write this one, this file, this HTTP, the client, this one. Right here. Okay, this after that here this one. Simple code. Okay, don't worry about simple code. This to here, I'll be explaining. Don't worry. The simple code. There's nothing of it. And imported the HTTP request. Right, it's coming here. Right. Now, right. Okay, now I'll be explaining. Don't worry about the ng. Here we have to call the following component. This Okay, now what I did here is, first I have created a table. Simple table I have to. This is a table creation. Table is starting only the component. Okay, you just copy the some table from the dummy table from, you just go to the Google and type bootstrap table. Bootstrap table, the bootstrap table. I already installed the bootstrap, right? Bootstrap table. You go and type the bootstrap table. You can get the nice bootstrap table over here, right? That's the thing, you have to get the bootstrap table. This table you have to just paste it over here. Okay, only you have to, this is the ID. Okay, you have to change it as employee name, address, and select. This is the thing first you have to. After the T body, this is the only thing you have to change, right? Only the T body you have to change, right? First, here we don't ignore this line. Only we have to talk about this one, right? First, what I did here is I have created a simple table. This table I am going to load the following API. This request I am going to load. Okay, this when the request is coming from like this, I want to load this data. This all the data I want to load. Okay, this is the JSON format you have to load. What to do, right? So I already taught the Angular as the TS file. TS is a logic file. All the code part we have to do it as a TS file. Only the design will be there. The coding is there, right? So this is a separate file. So the separate file. First, what I did here is we have to create the array, product array. This I'm going to change just instead of this employee details now, but change as employee array, right? Colon any you have type like this. Second line you have to create a variable is result loaded false, right? After that, it has a default constructor. This method is default constructor. You have to implement this HTTP colon HTTP request. After that, you have a bracket. Inside the bracket, you have to write like this. This get all products. Get all products. You can type get all employees. You have to type as get all employee. Employee. Right. Okay. This also I'm going to change it as a get all employee. You have to get all the employee details. Right. The method also you have to name it as get all employee now here. Okay. That's why they show the error. The method you have created to get all employee. Okay. This array also you have to get all array, right. Now this method, what I did here is in this method you have to understand. I create the empty method. This is the get all employee. Open and close it over here. In this here, you have typed the HTTP request. This HTTP get, we have to send the request. Okay, get. You have to get request. The same thing here. The postman, the get, same get. You have typed here HTTP. This is all the request HTTP. HTTP means HTTP. Okay, HTTP. You have to, this, okay, this form HTTP. You have to get this request. This port, the same URL. You can see the same URL here. The same URL I'm going to send it over here. Get all employee. Okay. So it will be observable. Okay, you have to change it as observable method, right? After that, this simple code here, dot subscribe, whether the request is succeed or not. Dot subscribe. Result data means the result data. Get the data. This data. If you send the request, the following request, if the data is there, if the data is there, the URL is correct, it is loaded. Otherwise, if the data, this URL is not correct, if you type like this, result is wrong because there is no request like this. Okay here. So that's why it will be tested for employee. Okay. So it will be tested. That's why we will put in the subscribe whether it succeed or not. Okay, the following request is succeed or not. You have to put it is subscribe. Whether it is not load the data, it subscribe. If the data is available, it will be subscribe. Subscribe, it tests the data using the result. Any you have to put data and you have to put the bracket and open and close it. Here this result is true. So it is put, it's the loading method. You have to, now you are not is bother of this one. Okay. Okay, you have to ignore this line. Here you can see console.log. If the data is there, here you are sending this request. The following request, based on the request, the data is there. You can check on the format whether the record is there. What happened? It will be loaded. The subscribe is loaded, and you have to console. It will be loaded and show the output. After that, this dot, this following data equal into, you have set it to the this array. This array is empty now. If you are set like this, now the array has the data. This all the JSON data we have to assign to the this array. Okay, you have to get the here. If the following directory is data is there, it will be subscribed whether it's, the data is exist or not. If this exists, it passes into the console. It is passing here. Console we have tested on the console application whether accuracy is there or not. I'll be explained, right? If it is there, now if it is there, you have to pass it passing here. You have to already create the variable array over here. It you passing here. That's the thing you have to do, right? After that, what I'm going to do is the same method we have to call inside the constructor. Okay, when the HTML page is loaded in Java, you can see here when the application loaded, if you have put the in any of these inside the constructor, it is uh, loaded along with that constructor. But you are put all the method. The same thing in the HTML also, the Angular also. If you are calling the inside the constructor, when the HTML page is loaded, it is loaded along with the method as well. Right? The same thing it is loaded. Understand? Right? After that, what I did is this all the data you are getting. Now you are go to the HTML file. You have to paste it. Here this employee array. Here this data. That's why it's for the same employee array. Copied. Right. Now what it did is so employee array. Right. Now here you have to load the data. Now you have to get the data into the HTML page. Okay. So out of this, we have to put for loop. How to write the for loop in Angular? You type asterisk ng4 as I explained in this how to load the table data outside the data from the database. I already taught in my last video tutorial. The same thing in the ng4 you have to loop. Let you have to get the let variable. The product items of employee array. Employee array means you have to get the employee this from this here. This array, this detail, get the data details and put into this product items. Your product inside the product item, employee item. Get the details and put it in the employee item. And we have to set into the fields first. Okay, set the fields mean what are the name of the this is must. This how you have to record will be you are here. If you have tested with the console, it is coming like this. So the same name you have to giving here. Employee item. This array passing the data to here. This done employee name. Employee item dot employee address. Employee is when select. Only I have 3 fields I assign, right? Only 3 fields, right? Now here in if your data get the uppercase or if you write like this, if you get if you have to get rid of this line. Now you can check whether it's working fine or not. Now let's save all. Now let's go back to our uh, this file. I am going to load it. So go to the TS. This is the TS file I now in. This selector. I just copy this one. It need to be loaded first. So go to the TS module. Sorry, which file we have to go to? This file. Yeah, employee app HTML. This file. I so far I call it this one HTML products. Now what I'm going to instead of that I'm going to call it here this one, this component. This component you have to put it this one. This is the component. You have to get the component line. Now this one I'm just get rid of this line. Save all. Now when the application loaded, I want to load this line. This component. This which component employee component. How to load? It goes here. First it will be loaded. It goes to tester whether the what the logic you are done with the TS file. Okay, if the HTML page is loaded along with the TH file. What is the logic you are did in the program, right? Now let's check whether it's working fine or not. Right now, let's open up our Angular application. Right now, let's check whether it's working fine or not. Now let's refresh the page. All the things are saved. Okay, we have to run the application again. I think. Okay, we have to run the application. I think the Angular project is not, it didn't run. That's why it's not running. Okay, ng, I close it. Accidentally, I closed the Angular application. That's it. The Spring Boot is working. First, you have to run the Spring Boot application first. Okay. Some students are confused about this one. First you have to run your backend first. After that, you have to run the front end. Right. First, if the first after that the front end is run. Okay. So you have to running like this. Okay. Now I didn't run my front end. That's why it takes right. Okay. Let's run it. Accident I closed the application. That's why the server is not run. Now it's running. Now I have to now it's loading. Here the request is coming. It's working perfectly well. Okay, now it's working perfectly well. Now here this one should be the loader. I have put the simple loader. ng if resource loader. This we have to put the simple loader. It's a preloader. Okay, this is a preloader. You have to write the simple command. You have to create a variable over here. It's loaded true, false. First time it's false. After that, when the request is coming success here, the data is there. It is loading. Okay, it's loading is true when the loaded true. So that I have to call it true here. That's it. It's working fine. Thank you for watching. If you have any doubt, you can ask me anytime. If you love my channel, please subscribe me, like me. Thank you for watching.